Welcome back, everybody. So today I have a video that I've been wanting to make for a little while, and I'm not sure if I want to call this a quick tip or just make it its own thing. I don't know. I guess I'll decide when I go to edit and post the video. But today I want to talk about gun shop visits and some tricks for those of you who frequent different gun shops. So if you've been to a lot of gun shops, you know the different kinds of people that work there. You've got the people that don't know anything and know they don't know anything about guns. You've got the people who know a little bit about guns and think they know everything about guns. And you've got the guys who know a lot and are actually really helpful. Now, I don't really want to talk about so much the people that are really helpful because, for one, I'm really glad when I go to a gun store and I find somebody who is knowledgeable and actually knows what they're talking about. And typically, I don't have a lot of interaction with those guys because I know a lot about guns, and if I go to a gun shop and I'm talking to one of those guys and I'm telling them what I'm looking for in a gun or a holster or whatever it may be, they realize that I know something and they just kind of leave their opinions to themselves. And that's what I really like when I go to a gun shop. Then you've got the people who don't know a lot and know they don't know a lot. Those people are also awesome, and I'm not going to talk a lot about those guys in those videos and gals, those guys and gals. Because a lot of times when I've had interactions with those people, they've been fairly good about asking me questions and learning from me. I remember the favorite place I liked to buy guns when I was in California, the lady that worked behind the gun counter there didn't know a whole lot about guns and knew and admitted she didn't know a whole lot about guns. And so whenever I would come in, she would always ask me questions like, hey, I had a customer come in and ask about this, and I honestly didn't know what to tell them. So what's the answer to this question? And I would tell her what I thought or what I knew about whatever that subject was. She had me take her to the range and show her some stuff, and then she had a real drive to learn. So I really like working with both of those kinds of people when I go to a gun counter. It's really awesome, and it's a great opportunity to either one, teach somebody something that they didn't already know, or two, to have a good experience at a gun counter. But that third group of people, the people who think they know everything and who have an opinion about everything, and if your opinion doesn't line up with theirs, you're automatically wrong. Those are the people I really want to focus on in this video, and we've all dealt with them, right? I mean, I'm, in my late 20s, early 30s kind of age range, and ever since I was even in my young to mid 20s, I've gone to gun stores and I've interacted with those people. A lot of times it's older guys, they're in their 40s or 50s and they've been around guns their whole lives and they have their set opinions about gun things. And, they're a wealth of knowledge for sure. I'm not going to say they don't know things, but what really bothers me is when they try to push what they think is the right way onto other people, especially when they're the people who they get really wrapped around the axle about one thing and that's their whole thing. But they try to seem like they're experts about everything. For example, if you go to a shop and you start asking about an AR-15, and the guy goes, why would you want an AR-15? Here's this perfectly good, awesome bolt action rifle. Let's do everything you needed to do. Stop. Just stop, dude. Stop talking to me. Go over there. If I need you to unlock a counter or something, I will come get you. Like, that's what I want to say to these people. It's really frustrating to go to a gun counter and encounter those kinds of people because you're the customer, right? You're the person who's there either one because you want to learn something or two because you've already learned things, you've already done your research, and you're just looking to handle the product and possibly buy it. So getting their opinion from them isn't what you're there for. Or if you're trying to learn something, you want to get a good, honest, well-rounded opinion that's not just based on, well, this is the only thing that's important and what you're thinking about is total crap. This is a little bit of a rant too. I guess I could make a new series of rants. I don't know. It really bugs me and frustrates me. And especially when I was a younger guy, and even now, everybody at the gun counter always looks at me like I'm this young guy, Okay, he's kind of an adult, he looks like he's about 30 or so. So we'll give him a little bit of credit, but he's still not 40 or 50, so he doesn't really know what he's talking about. And that frustrates me when I know. I'm not trying to toot my own horn here, but I've done a lot of research. I've shot a lot of guns. I've done some training. Like, I know what I'm talking about, and I know what I'm looking for as an individual who likes to collect guns, uses guns, or carries guns for self-defense, I should say. I've never had to use one for self-defense, thank God. Hope I never do. But it can be really frustrating. If any of you guys watching this video can relate to that, please post a comment in the section down below and tell us a story of most frustrating gun shop visit you've ever had. Personally, this is why I really like being able to buy a gun online and to go shopping for guns online. I can just buy it, have it sent to the store, and I can go pick it up. And there's nobody there trying to direct me one way or the other. I've already paid for this gun. I'm here for the background check on this gun. I'm going to pay the transfer fee and I'm going to walk out the door. That's how I typically like to buy guns these days. But the gun shops are still nice because you can go and look at a gun in person. You can hold it. You can put it to your shoulder or put it in your hands. You can feel what it's like. And you can't do that on the internet. So I think that the actual brick and mortar gun shop still has a place. I just really wish that people who have been working at gun shops for maybe 20, 30 years, who own gun shops, would understand, and a lot of them do. I've met a lot of these people who fall into that category of know a lot and don't try to push their opinions on everybody. But the ones who try to push their opinions, I wish they would just stop. Understand the target audience, understand what they're looking for, and try to cater to that need as best you can. If they're inexperienced and they really don't know anything about guns, then try to teach them what you can. But at the end of the day, they're the customer, right? And the customer is always right. I've seen so many people, and a lot of you will be able to relate to the story, try to push the pink gripped snub nose 380 or the pink, snub nose 38 or the pink 380 on some guy who's looking to buy a gun for his girlfriend or his wife. Because it's small and it's tiny and it's cute and it's pink, so it can't possibly be made for anything but a little girl, right? Like, that's the stupidest thing ever. When I took my wife out to the range, the first thing I had her shoot was a .22 rifle just to get used to the sound of the gun going bang. Whenever we go out now and we do training, she shoots my Glock 19. It's not pink, it's not a 380 or a 38, and it's not tiny. And the reason for that is I want my wife to keep going to the range. I want her to keep enjoying shooting. Her favorite gun of mine is my AR, and I think that's a really good choice because it's a rifle, it's low recoil, it's easy to manage, it's all the things, right? But it baffles me that these people who are 40, 50 years old think that a woman, a man, a child, whoever who is brand new to shooting would want a tiny little pistol as their primary defensive gun. Even if they're saying, I'm not going to carry it, it's just going to sit on my nightstand in case somebody breaks in at night. Why would you push a gun like that on somebody? It makes no sense. You can't put a light on it, so you can't identify your target. You don't have a decent capacity magazine. You have like 5, 6 shots. You have a very small gun with a relatively powerful cartridge. It's going to recoil and snap and hurt to shoot. So they're not going to go to the range. They're not going to train with it because it hurts. Nobody's going to want to go to the range and shoot guns that hurt, especially somebody who's not familiar with guns in the first place. So that really frustrates me. So I wanted to rant a little bit about that because honestly, it's something that's kind of been on my mind for a while. But I also wanted to give you guys and gals some tips on how to deal with people like that. So whenever I go to a gun counter, no matter what gun counter it is these days, whether my wife is with me or not, I am married, I'll go up, and if I start dealing with somebody who is kind of that person who wants to tell me, oh, well, this is a good gun, you should get this gun, or that's a crap gun that you're interested in, you shouldn't even worry about that gun, it's a piece of crap. As soon as I realize they're going to be that person and that they don't understand that I, one, know a little bit about what I'm talking about, and two, I'm just there to look at stuff and possibly buy whatever I want to buy, not what they want me to buy, my immediate answer is, okay, cool. I'm gonna go give the wife a call, or I'm gonna go find the wife and see what she says and see if she's okay with opening up the purse strings. I basically act like that guy who has to go through his wife to approve buying a pack of bubble gum at the store. Not that case at all. That's not how she and I work. We are totally on the level with everything. We talk about everything, and we're okay with whatever, as long as it's financially responsible, right? I don't have to have her permission to buy whatever. I'm not that guy whose balls are rolling around the bottom of her purse. But I use her as that out of, okay, I actually am not going to buy this right now because I need to make sure it's okay with her so that I don't sleep in the doghouse for the rest of the month or whatever the case may be. And it works because like everybody seems to understand that. I don't know if it's because that's the typical stereotype or because a lot of people's wives are that way, but thank God mine isn't, but I can still play to that. So if you are married, or even if you're not, if you want to go look around at these different gun counters and you know for a fact, maybe you've been to all the gun stores in your area and you know that people working there are like that, then just buy some cheap little ring and put it on before you go into the gun store. It's kind of like the opposite of if you're married and you're going to the bar and you're trying to cheat, which you shouldn't because it's a dirtbag move. Put the ring on before you go into the gun store and start walking around looking at stuff. And if the person who's working there starts being kind of invasive and intrusive and not understanding that his job is to open counters and show you guns and make sure you don't steal something while you're there, just say, hey, you know what? I can't buy anything today. I got to talk to the wife first. Or if you're a female out there and you run into this problem, I'm sure you run into this problem a lot. Even if you're a very experienced shooter and you have a lot of guns and you know a lot about guns, I'm sure you run into this problem all the time because you're a woman in a gun store. So you automatically don't know anything, right? Same thing. Hey, you know what? I need to talk to my husband and make sure that this is, going to be okay. We're going to be good with finances and whatnot. And then you know what? Hopefully at that point, you've gotten to see and hold and fondle the gun that you actually wanted to see, and you've made a decent determination about the gun. So you can just buy it online, have it shipped to that same store, go in, pick it up, pay the transfer fee. You probably got it less online than you did at that store anyway, and leave, and you get to laugh your ass off because the person behind the counter thinks that you're an idiot when in fact you know more than they do. So a little bit of a rant, a little bit of a quick tip of how to deal with these gun counter snobs, if you will, the know-it-alls that work there. And I'm not trying to say that everybody that works at a gun counter is like that. Like I said, they're the people who know a lot and who understand that they are not the experts in everything and they don't know you and your life and the things that make the most sense for you. And then there are the people who don't know a lot and are actually humble enough to understand they don't know a lot and they want to learn. But for the vast majority of the people I've dealt with at gun stores, unfortunately, they fall into that category of I know everything, and if you're not listening to me, you're an idiot. So I'm hoping this helps you guys out a little bit. If nothing else, it lets me get a little bit off of my chest. I hope you enjoyed the video. Hopefully you got something out of it. Really appreciate you guys taking the time to watch. If you have any questions, if there's any funny gun store stories you'd like to hear from me, or if you have your own funny ones that you'd like to share, please post those down in the comments below. I'm sure we'd all love to get a good laugh out of them. If you like the video, also subscribe to the channel, like the video, share it with your friends. Go watch some of my other videos. Hopefully you'll get something out of those as well if you got something out of this one. If there's anything else you'd like me to talk about, any more rants or story times or anything, let me know that in the comments below as well. Thanks again for watching, guys. Hope you guys have a great night. Y'all take it easy, roll tide, and I'll see you later.